Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today we will find out how this year's early college high school pathway program is going over at Quincy College. And some other programs as well. First though, we take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's beautiful. Brilliant sunshine, 75 degrees right now. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s this afternoon with lots of sunshine. Nice night this evening under clear skies. Lows will drop off into the lower 60s, and really a pretty nice stretch of weather for the next couple of days. Looks summer-like for the weekend with lots of sunshine tomorrow, just a few clouds into the mid-80s, and then Sunday mostly sunny, highs again the lower 80s. The humidity will start to bump up a bit. Monday could see some afternoon showers and thunderstorms, kind of humid with a high Monday around 80 degrees, but after that the rest of next week looks sunny and mild. Again, 75 with sunshine in Quincy right now. Checking out the news for you today. Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch says the city is considering taking legal action against a company that sold firefighter turnout gear to the city that was advertised as being free of forever chemicals or PFAS, but that independent testing showed was not chemical free. During a press conference at City Hall yesterday, Koch said the city was lied to by the company.
It's truly outrageous to me and deeply troubling that we stand here today to talk about the new gear we bought, sold to us on the premise that had no PFAS in it, PFAS free. That's how it was advertised. It was recently independently tested and came back highly positive with PFAS components in the gear. Outrageous. Everything we're doing as a community, and I'm sure mayors and chiefs across the state feel the same way. We're trying to do everything we can to mitigate the risks and protect our firefighters, and we know they take great risk. And that gear is that first line of defense. Obviously, apparatus is important and all the other pieces, but the gear is their personal line of defense. So what an outrage and betrayal by this company.
Now, the Quincy Firefighters Union says an independent test proved that the existence of chemicals in 30 sets of gear, and that now a total of 80 sets are being tested independently. Representatives from the state and international firefighters unions also condemn the presence of PFAS in firefighters' gear, which they say contributes to making cancer the leading cause of death among firefighters. Well, early voting for the September 2nd preliminary election in Quincy begins tomorrow. Voters may cast ballots at City Hall tomorrow from 8:30 to 2:30, and tomorrow at 5 o'clock is the deadline to register to vote in the September 2nd election. City Clerk Nicole Crispo says every effort's being made to make voting as easy as possible.
I walked the site of our temporary polling place in Ward 6, Precinct 5, the Nickerson Post yesterday, with DPW, TPAL, and Quincy Police. And we're setting up the logistics for people walking up, being mindful of the curve in public safety, and taken all that into consideration, and also, the setup of the hall.
Now, there's no early voting on Sunday. It will resume on Monday and run through next Thursday from 8:30 to 4:30 at City Hall. And the last day to request a mail-in ballot is this coming Monday. There is a ballot drop box located outside City Hall. And, of course, in-person voting will take place September 2nd, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Voters will be casting ballots for Councilor at Large and for Ward 6 Councilor. 2 of the 8 candidates for the 3 at-large council seats will be eliminated in the preliminary, and 2 of the 4 candidates for the Ward 6 council seat will also be cut. The finalists will then face each other in the November 4th general election. Well, plans for an Adams Presidential Center and combined Performing Arts Center in Quincy Center are moving forward. Mayor Thomas Koch says that a committee is on the verge of hiring an architect to design the projects, which may be located right next to City Hall.
And we are looking at, not exclusively, but we are looking at the Monroe building next door to City Hall that we purchased with federal money, oh gosh, about 5 years ago, I think now. During the whole early Quincy 400 meetings and discussions, there was I would say outcry, but a large percentage of people that were interested in seeing the city do something along the lines of performing arts center / cultural center / call it whatever you want, but a place where the performing arts can come together. And that's something I've taken seriously, and I think that there could be great synergy between the two. Obviously, the APC will need larger space for certain events. They could use the Performing Arts Center. The Performing Arts Center, though, I don't want to program it every night of the week, but I do see professional shows, comedian acts, bands coming there, special programs, maybe a film festival here and there, but also, maybe the symphony will enjoy it, the choral society, perhaps some of our local dance schools could have their recitals there. I mean, we want it to be a place that not only brings in some great professional stuff, but I want it to serve the community.
Mayor says the Monroe building would have to be torn down to make way for the new center. He envisions the new center having seating for about 1,200 people and says expanded parking at the nearby T station would also be part of that project. The mayor anticipates holding some community meetings and making a presentation to the city council as the next step in the process. A Quincy man has been charged with being a major drug dealer. 33-year-old Nagia Van Hun was arrested last week on Turning Mill Lane in West Quincy after an investigation into illegal drug activity in that area. Police seized a large quantity of methamphetamine, cocaine, ketamine. There was 7 pounds of marijuana, hallucinogenic mushrooms, 400 vape cartridges, an illegal gun, some ammunition, and over $61,000 in cash. Hun faces drug trafficking and distribution charges and firearms violations. He was arraigned in Quincy District Court on a dangerousness hearing. Quincy Police Chief Mark Kennedy says the drug control unit will continue to make Quincy a hostile environment for drug dealers. 13 students recently graduated from the second year of Quincy College's new radiology technology program. The students were honored during a pinning ceremony earlier this month. The program was started in 2023 and provides students with a comprehensive education and hands-on clinical training required for entry-level positions at hospitals, outpatient clinics, imaging centers, and pain management centers. It also makes them eligible for the national certification exam. 2 of the 13 graduates are from Quincy, Julia Devlin and also Nancy Pham. Pham was presented with the class's Clinical Excellence Award. Well, a very unique find during the construction of the new Squantum Elementary School in Quincy. Superintendent Kevin Mulvey says workers discovered a time capsule dating back 77 years.
Excitingly, during the demolition of the 1950s wing, we did discover a time capsule from 1948.
Neat.
That was installed in the building.
No kidding.
So we're not opening it.
Okay.
We're going to have the students open it. And we'll do that with our students and families, and we'll make sure that QATV is invited, and we'll see what's in it. So it's super exciting.
Mulvey says the time capsule was located near the cornerstone of the 1950s portion of the building. He says there is discussion about creating a new time capsule for the new building once it's complete. This fall, students will return to modular classrooms as the former Squantum School is demolished. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, an update on Quincy College's early college high school programs and more. That's next. Welcome back. We're pleased to welcome back to the program folks from Quincy College to get a little update on how their summer has been going and what's coming up for the fall. So Meghan Giovannoni is here. This is a great title for anybody in any position. Vice President of Student Success and partnership. I love that.
Thank
that
you.
really just spells it out. You are in charge of making sure students are successful.
That's right, that's right. And usually when I welcome new students, particularly at our new student orientations and whatnot, I explain to them that it's one of the greatest jobs, but it's also one of the most difficult pieces of making sure that they're successful at the college.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's good.
It's more than just making sure they're doing good in classes, right? It's the whole picture. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been doing that now?
I've been with the college almost 8 years,
Wow.
and in that time have just had the opportunity to wear a lot of different hats, everything from helping with our first year seminar courses to our dual enrollment and early college designations, as well as helping with a lot of our internal support, such as academic advising, tutoring, and coaching.
Yeah, this college has grown so much in such a short period of time and really serves a particular niche and need, in the community for sure.
Absolutely.
And one of them is helping high school students earn college credit while they're still in high school.
Yes, yes it is.
You took no breaks over the summer at Quincy College, basically, right?
We did not.
Yeah.
While a lot of folks were winding down and the school year was ending, we were gearing up for our third Early College Summer Academy, which kicked off right at the end of June. So
Okay.
we've had a busy summer.
Wow. Now, how does that work?
So really what we do, the process for this starts during the spring semester, really as early as January, and the folks at both Quincy High and North Quincy High help tremendously with the recruitment of students who might want to participate in this summer program. So they're reaching out to students in grade 9, 10, 11, and even those who just graduated this past June to tell them about the opportunities that they have to take courses right here at Quincy College over the summer. And we've been very fortunate in that there has been a tremendous interest. We usually have everything finalized somewhere around April, May, and then we welcome all the students to the campus at the very end of June, and then the classes kick off right after the 4th of July.
Okay. And which students are eligible? How does a student become eligible to attend early college high school? Yeah.
So our primary focus is really on students who are already enrolled in the early college high school program. As you may know, we have about over 300 students currently enrolled in early college high school between both high schools. So we do prioritize and give kind of first choice to those students. And then we also invite other students at QPS who may be interested.
Okay.
This year, we were privileged enough to also invite students from Avon Middle High School who participated in a pilot early college program this past academic year.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And what do they have to do once they're in the program? What are the requirements, the responsibilities?
Yeah, so it actually is a big ask for a high school student.
Yeah.
Especially
over the summertime.
Absolutely. Just when the weather's getting nicer
Yeah.
and all your friends are heading off to the beach or off to their summer jobs or vacations.
Right.
We had over 300 students coming here to take classes at minimum twice a week.
Wow.
So these students are committing to 4 to 4.5 hours a day for either 2 days a week or 4 days a week, depending on how many classes they decide to take. Wow. They can take 1 or 2 classes.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. And what do they earn at the end of that?
So first and foremost, they have really a hands-on introduction to what it is like to take classes at Quincy College. They are working with our professors, they're using our facilities, they're being held to the same standards that a college student would be held to. So I think even though that's not necessarily a numerical thing that you can kind of itemize and say, oh, I got this, it's something that they are able to take with them even after they're done with the summer. But as far as what they earn, they'll earn 3 to 4 college credits per class.
Okay.
So we have many of our students earned between 6 and 7 credits by taking 5 to 7 week classes this summer,
Okay.
which is actually exceptional given the way the credits can impact their success after they graduate from high school. And when you think about it, really the short period of time that they need to dedicate to this summer academy.
Yeah, it's very intense, right?
It is,
And it's
it is.
growing.
It's continuing to grow, so we've jumped almost by 100 students from last summer to this summer, which is incredible. And we've added some additional pathways to the overall summer academy, which also resulted in increased enrollment.
Yeah, can you attribute the increase to anything in particular, Megan? What are the kids telling you? Why are they interested in it?
Yeah, I think what's really nice about working with Quincy Public Schools is that students do talk about their experience to their friends and to their families, and so word does travel travels. So, while we like to think that maybe a new flyer or, a new visitation helps, I think that does, but I do think good news travels fast.
Word of mouth, it's still the best form of advertising.
It really is.
Even
It really
today.
is. And we had students telling us this year that there was really just a buzz in both of the high schools about this opportunity.
Really?
Now, we also increased the number of classes that we offered for early college. So those folks who had maybe participated in the program previously had new classes that they could choose from this summer as well.
All right. And what kinds of curriculum do you offer? What programs do you offer?
Yeah, we touch upon really everything. So we do Intro to Biotech, we have an A&P course, we have public speaking, we have writing for professionals, we have computer science and website design classes, we have a sociology course. So we really try to hit all of not only the core pieces of an education, but also those that students might just generally be interested in.
Okay.
So there's really something for everyone.
And they have to pass them, right? I mean, this is not a give me. This is a real deal.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and I'm glad you mentioned that because one thing that our facilitators were very clear about when this program started this past summer is that you are now assuming the responsibility of a college student.
Right.
So while the student may not have to pay anything aside from their time to be in this program.
Oh yeah, by the way, it's free.
It is free. It is free. And so with that, while free is so great, we also sometimes worry that if it's free, we still want the students to take it extremely seriously.
For sure,
because this is something that lives on their transcript. And so you're absolutely correct. The student does need a final grade of anywhere between a 75, 73 or higher in order to get the credit for that course. If they don't pass the class, they're not getting the credit. So it is something that students need to take very seriously.
Okay. And does that count? Can they take it again? Does that count against them, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, typically when a student is enrolling in a college credit class and they don't pass the class, that is something that remains on their transcript.
Okay.
So it is something, if you kind of fast forward, may be a conversation with an admissions team down the road if someone were to say, well, what happened with this class? Now, that is not our goal at all. We intend to provide students with kind of wraparound support so that they're able to work on anything that they may have concerns about.
Right, absolutely. But these are highly motivated students, aren't they? I mean, they have a clear direction. They have a path that they're following.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've been really, really lucky with the caliber of student who's participated in these programs. Our instructors often say during the summer, and even after the summer is done, I have the pleasure of getting emails and follow-ups from folks who have taught these students, and they've said, these students are incredible. It's clear that they want to be here, that they're motivated, and that they're really doing their best.
And it doesn't end after summer.
It doesn't. We keep going.
So many different programs that are available now for high school students to take advantage of while they're still in high school, right?
Absolutely. So the early college program continues to grow, which we're so thrilled about, but there's several other programs that we now have in the works with QPS as well.
Let's run down those if we can to give folks a little sense for what's available.
Absolutely, and I may have mentioned this in the past, but we have our Accelerated Associate Degree Pathway Program.
Yes.
So we are now entering our second year of this program.
Okay.
Last year we had 14 grade 9 students participate, and all 14 are continuing this fall, which is exciting. As a reminder, this program allows students with the opportunity to actually fully earn an associate's degree from Quincy College at the same time that they graduate from high school.
Amazing.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Again, going back to being a motivated student, it certainly, targets a student who is ready to make that commitment to their academics, both as a high school and a college student. But we've seen tremendous success in this first year, and starting this fall, we will have 22 new grade 9 students joining that pathway.
Okay, so that's growing as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so that really sets them up for choices in the future, right? Once they graduate high school.
It really does. Not only the choices, but also having that associate's degree already as part of their essentially college application when they are ready to take that next step.
And are those transferable, Megan, if they wanted to take it to another institution? As they are. Okay.
They are. They're transferable the same way any other Quincy College credits would be. One thing we always remind any high school student of, and I know guidance counselors do this as well, is that at the end of the day, it's always up to the school that the student transfers to decide how the credits will be applied.
Okay.
However, when a student comes in with an associate's degree, it's showing they have it all done.
Right.
So it's less of a picking and choosing,
Yeah.
it's showing I already have this credential.
Or translated to some of the baccalaureate programs at Quincy College.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Have
And
to
I
get that plug
appreciate
in
you
there.
mentioning that because they're already, more than halfway with
Right.
this program done.
And that's also free.
It is. It is. The Accelerated Associate Degree program is also free. It is a kind of almost a branch from the overall early college high school program.
Yeah.
When we're talking to students about the difference, we like to say the early college program, those are classes that are happening during the school day as part of your schedule. With the accelerated program, there's still that early college component, but the student and the family does need to understand that there will be classes to be taken over the summer or at the Quincy College campus. So it is a little bit of a different commitment.
Yeah, and it's expanding it to other school systems as well, right?
We are
Yeah.
expanding early college to other districts, which is really, really exciting. Quincy Public Schools has given us such a strong foundation to
Yeah.
build this program, and we continue to use QPS as really the model as we develop these programs at other high schools. This past summer, actually, while we were running the Summer Academy, we got the incredible news that we have been designated as an early college partner with Avon Middle High School. And so that was part of why we had some of those students involved with our Summer Academy. And so starting this fall, we will be launching our grade 10 and grade 11 students at Avon to participate in early college with Quincy.
Wow, do you hope to add other systems in the future as well?
We do. We're currently working with Weymouth, Holbrook, as well as Brockton to put proposals for designation together for the 26-27 school year.
Okay, and is that something that needs approval at the state level or just at the local? Oh, it does need state level.
It does.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
a state process, so it involves several people coming together,
Okay.
and it's really a collaborative effort between Quincy College and the high school leadership.
Okay, but I mean, really, you built the groundwork already, so
We have.
I would think that would give you a leg up on
Absolutely.
the approval process. That's great.
Absolutely.
There is also dual enrollment. There is a cost for the dual enrollment program, right?
There is,
Yeah.
there is. And dual enrollment continues to be something that we have expanded to so many districts, including Quincy and North Quincy High School. There is a cost for dual enrollment. Quincy College does not receive direct funding from the state to cover the cost of dual enrollment. So we try to keep the charge as minimal as possible. It is $350 for a 3-credit class or $450 for a 4-credit class, which tend to be your science classes with labs. And the dual enrollment program is really a good option for those students who maybe are heavily involved in high school with sports or extracurriculars or jobs, but they still want to find a way to earn college credit, but maybe they can't commit the way that an early college student or an accelerated student may.
Okay.
So these are specific classes that have been aligned with Quincy College courses that a student is enrolled in at the high school level.
Okay, so that they take them at the high school?
They do.
They do, okay.
We work with high schools directly to ensure that the instructor who's teaching the class at the high school and the curriculum meets the Quincy College criteria, but it really breaks down any barriers for students because they're able to still stay at their high school, earn the college credit, and continue on with their other activities.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, during the school year, do they finish their high school day and then they go to their college day within the same building? Is that how it works?
It's actually embedded into their
It's
high school
embedded.
schedule.
Oh, all right.
So there is no change in where they need to go,
Yeah.
where they need to be, and I think that's part of the reason why Quincy College has been able to work with so many high school districts,
Yeah.
because we do have a unique model in that we try to make it as accessible and seamless for the high school as possible.
Yep.
I know there's other institutions where they require the student to physically come onto their campus.
Yes.
We do not operate that way,
Okay.
and so we've been fortunate enough. We have over 25 dual enrollment high school partners currently, and always looking to expand, and have been grateful for that.
Yeah. And the programs we've talked about, these are all, none of these are online, right? These are in-person
Correct.
instruction.
They're all all in person.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. What's coming up in the fall for Quincy College?
Yeah, we're continuing to grow, like I said. So we will continue our early college high school pathway programming with Quincy and North Quincy High School. We continue to involve grade 9 students now as well. So we're fortunate enough to have folks at both of the high schools who will provide an intro to early college course and then an intro to computers course for those early college students. We'll also continue to provide expanded dual enrollment opportunities. We're most recently working with, as I mentioned, Brockton, and also working with Norton, Mansfield, and Easton. So we're kind of expanding into that part of the state a little bit as well, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
And as far as our accelerated program goes, the students that I mentioned earlier, those incoming grade 10 students, will now be taking a new kind of course load of classes this year as they work towards their college degree.
It's incredible. It's really becoming a
exciting.
regional educational institution. Yeah.
It absolutely has, and just the savings alone that these Quincy families are experiencing as a result of this. Since the inception of these programs back in 2021, families have saved up to around $2.5 million in tuition and fees. So it's incredible.
Yeah. Great to catch up with you, Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please come back.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joe. Take
You're
care.
welcome. Just enough time to take a look at the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. A very nice day with lots of sunshine and comfortable temperatures in the upper 70s, lower 60s this evening. Beautiful weekend coming up with summer-like temperatures returning into the mid-80s. Maybe a few storms around here on Monday, and it looks dry and warm after that. Thanks again to Meghan Giovannoni for joining us from Quincy College, the Vice President of Student Success and Partnerships.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. By the way, we are off here on the program next week. We'll return with you on September 5th as we welcome the Quincy Fire Department stopping by to talk about a cancer fundraiser that they'll be having. Meantime, please visit our website. It's QATV.org. You'll find all of our latest programs along with news and information. There's video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.